Welcome to Sleepy History Stories. While outside gentle rain taps against stone and earth, each drop steady and unhurried. In this calm space, let your body settle. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears. Let your mind grow quiet, your breathing slow and even. Tonight we travel to a time long before cities, before written language, before clocks or lamplight, to a world where one force stood at the very center of survival, shaping human life more quietly than any other discovery. Fire. Fire was warmth. Fire was light. Fire was protection. Fire was time, rhythm, and focus. It was the first companion that humans learned to cultivate, nurture, and respect. It was the pulse around which humans measured nights and days, shaped tasks and movement, and wove together the fragile threads of community. The sun has slipped below the horizon, leaving shadows that stretch far and wide. The air carries the scent of damp earth, of cold stone, and the faint smoke of distant forest fires that drift lazily on the wind. A small group of humans gathers near a shallow cave, a rocky ledge, or a small clearing. The chill of night begins to creep into their bones. The dark stretches across the land, vast and undifferentiated. At the center of the gathering, a small fire glows. Its flames dance slowly, flickering across stone walls and the faces of those around it. Shadows ripple gently, stretching across rough-hewn surfaces and the uneven earth beneath their feet. The fire emits warmth, not blinding, not roaring, but calm, steady, and alive. It is more than comfort. It is life, rhythm, and security. One soft historical detail emerges here. Archaeologists have found evidence that humans controlled fire as far back as 400,000 years ago. They carried embers across distances, nurtured sparks until flames rose, and learned to maintain them through careful attention. Fire was a living tool, a companion that required patience, care, and respect. It was not simply discovered. It was practiced. It was maintained. It was observed. Life near fire moved slowly and deliberately. People arranged themselves so that warmth reached everyone, but crowded no one. Children leaned toward the flames with curiosity. Elders extended hands gently, and all watched the light flicker as a quiet meditation, a center for the unfolding of daily activity. This was not drama nor haste. Every action unfolded in the soft rhythm set by the fire's pulse. Fire transformed food. Before fire, humans relied on raw plants, roots, and occasionally scavenged meat. Teeth grew smaller. Digestive tracts adapted. Brains expanded. Fire did not demand these changes, but its calm presence allowed them to occur naturally, slowly and safely over countless generations. Imagine someone placing another small log onto the glowing embers. Sparks rise slowly, floating upward into the night, then fade. The soft hiss of moisture in the wood merges with the crackle of small flames. The group watches not out of fear, but because attention is drawn naturally to this pulse of life. Tasks are performed in this rhythm. Stone tools are chipped carefully under the light. Baskets are woven with precision, each movement echoed by the flicker of shadow and light. Fire organizes life not with urgency, but with an invisible, steady hand. The glow defines boundaries. Inside the circle of warmth, humans rest, move, prepare, and observe. Outside, shadows remain uncertain, long, and indistinct. The fire does not confront the unknown with violence, but holds it at a distance, softly and consistently, providing time, space, and calm confidence for those gathered. Traverse snowy landscapes and explore regions otherwise inhospitable. It carried humanity across continents, shaping migration patterns, settlement choices, and survival strategies. Fire was the quiet pulse behind human expansion, a steady partner in every slow step across the earth. Even the act of gathering around fire teaches rhythm, patience, and cooperation. Everyone knows when to feed the flames, when to add embers, when to adjust logs to maintain warmth and light, or to understand the patterns of the natural world. As night deepens, shadows lengthen and curl. The fire burns lower but remains alive, a calm beacon at the center of life. Smoke drifts upward, twisting softly, merging with the cool night air. The group becomes still. Breathing slows. Adults lean against rock or each other, steady, observant, yet calm. All senses attuned to the fire's rhythm, the steady rain, and the quiet presence of night. This is life with fire at its center, attentive, careful, deliberate, and immersed in the quiet beauty of warmth, light, and slow survival. Not through fear, not through rush, not through drama, but through calm, careful observation, slow movement, and respect for a tool that defined life itself. The gentle crackle of a fire fills the imagined room, sending long, flickering shadows across stone and earth, while outside rain drums softly against the roof and trees, each drop slow and unhurried. In this calm atmosphere, let your body settle further, let your breathing become soft and even, guiding humans through each movement, each breath, and each quiet thought. Fire shaped daily routines in ways that were subtle yet profound. From the moment a small flame was lit in the early morning until embers faded deep into night, life followed the rhythm of its glow. Breakfast might be prepared over hot coals with roots, tubers, or dried meat softened slowly in the warmth. Children watched and learned how to place food near the edge of the flame, how to rotate it carefully to prevent scorching, and how to recognize the soft hissing or gentle popping that signaled readiness. Each task was slow, deliberate, and calming, a quiet dance of attention around the central pulse of light. Historical evidence shows that fire was essential to early food preparation. Cooking made otherwise inedible plants digestible, neutralized toxins in roots and seeds, and transformed raw meat into a source of reliable energy. Over generations, these small changes in diet influenced not only health, but the shape of human evolution itself. Fire was a partner in survival, guiding humans to consume the right foods in the right way, patiently shaping life without urgency or drama. Fire also influenced the creation of tools. Stones could be heated to make them easier to shape, and wood or bone could be softened before carving. Artisans worked near embers, using the gentle light to guide precision in shaping implements. Every tap, every scrape, every rotation was measured and slow, in tune with the flicker of flames and the soft rhythm of breathing. Tools were not only practical, they were infused with care, attention, and the quiet teaching of generations. Beyond food and tools, fire structured the passage of time. Before clocks, before calendars, firelight indicated evening, embers marked the progression of night, and flame size or smoke density could suggest the passage of hours. People learned to estimate time through observation of flame behavior, smoke curling, and even the warmth radiating from coals. Fire dictated the rhythm of life with patience and precision. Consider the social dimension of fire. Gathering around flames was not merely practical. It fostered communication, storytelling, and the teaching of lessons. Elders shared knowledge of the land, of seasons, of hidden dangers, and of safe paths for hunting or gathering. Children absorbed stories and skills quietly, learning from the soft cadence of speech, the flicker of light, and the calm example of adults moving carefully in proximity to fire. Conversation was slow and reflective, punctuated by pauses to adjust logs, stir embers, or rotate food. Another historical insight: firelight allowed humans to see at night, expanding the day and allowing more work, more observation, and more teaching to occur than natural daylight alone would permit. It changed the way humans perceived space, depth, and movement. Shadows created patterns that encouraged attention, and the reflective quality of flame on smooth surfaces subtly guided coordination and observation skills. Fire was more than light. It was education, shaping attention and awareness over time. The protective qualities of fire cannot be overstated. Predators, from large cats to smaller scavengers, avoided the glow and heat. Communities learned to position fire strategically, creating circles of safety where people could sleep, eat, and work. Inside the circle, warmth and security prevailed. Outside, the dark remained uncertain, reminding humans to move with care. Fire, silent but present, guided both action and caution, teaching early humans to respect boundaries and anticipate the unseen. Fire also enabled early humans to survive in colder climates. In regions where snow, ice, or dampness threatened health and safety, fire offered a steady source of warmth, drying clothes, heating shelters, and allowing safe preparation of food. Its presence encouraged expansion into new environments, guiding migration patterns and settlement decisions. The quiet patience of fire allowed humans to endure, thrive, and adapt without haste or struggle, only through careful observation and slow interaction. Even leisure and reflection found their place near the flame. As embers glowed, humans could sit quietly, contemplating the patterns of the fire, the faint scent of smoke, and the gentle warmth that enveloped them. The mind could wander, observing shadows dancing across walls, noticing the rhythm of breath and heartbeat, and finding in this calm repetition a sense of continuity and stability. Fire offered not only survival but contemplation, an opportunity to rest within its presence while learning from its subtle cues. As night deepened, fire became a guide for sleep. Those nearest the flame experienced warmth and reassurance, while the fading glow signaled the approach of rest. Embers held a final pulse, and smoke carried the scent of burned wood softly through the space. Humans learned to sleep in alignment with this rhythm, waking slowly to its glow or maintaining embers overnight to ensure continuity of life, warmth, and protection. In essence, fire was not a tool used only in moments of urgency. It was a companion, a teacher, a pulse of life. It dictated pace, attention, movement, and interaction. It provided warmth, light, security, food, and the shaping of skills, all without command or coercion. Fire taught humans to be patient, observant, and harmonious with their environment. Tonight, as you imagine these ancient gatherings, allow your mind to rest near the steady rhythm of fire and rain. Picture the glow touching faces, tools, and the earth itself. Imagine humans moving carefully, thoughtfully, and without rush. Let the warmth, light, and slow unfolding of activity guide your own breathing, body, and thoughts into calm stillness. The fireplace burns low, sending long, slow shadows across imagined stone walls and earthen floors. Let your body settle further, your breathing deepen, and your mind sink into the warmth and gentle glow of the fire. Tonight we move deeper into the world of early humans, exploring how fire shaped not only survival, but also thought, imagination, and social life. Fire was more than heat and light, it was a teacher. It taught observation, patience, and rhythm. Early humans learned to feed it carefully, to watch the smoke and embers, to sense the subtle shifts in flame. Each movement had meaning, adding a small stick to keep the glow steady, adjusting embers to cook roots or meat slowly, or rotating objects to ensure even warmth. Through these quiet actions, humans developed the discipline of attention, learning to move deliberately in the presence of a living, flickering force. Daily tasks intertwined with fire in ways that were slow and methodical. Stones were heated to fracture predictably, making tools sharper and more precise. Bones and antlers were softened and shaped near coals, creating implements for hunting, cutting, or shaping shelters. Food was transformed, softened, and preserved. Each action was guided by observation, reflection, and the calm pace of trial and error repeated over generations. Fire allowed humans to refine their skills with patience, never in haste and never with urgency. Social life revolved around fire in subtle, profound ways. Circles of fire became spaces of teaching and learning. Elders shared knowledge of plants, animals, and safe travel, while children observed gestures, listened carefully to stories, and learned to move with intention. Conversations were slow, punctuated by moments to tend the flame, adjust logs, or listen to the distant rhythm of rain. The fire structured the pace of communication, encouraging attentiveness, respect, and gentle guidance. A historical insight emerges here, not through domination, but through observation and shared responsibility. Those who managed the flame, who maintained embers overnight, or who taught younger members how to feed and tend fire, were recognized for their knowledge and care. Fire shaped leadership subtly, quietly, teaching the value of patience, skill, and careful attention. Fire also expanded imagination. The dancing shadows on walls, the smoke twisting upward, the glowing embers, they inspired curiosity and early forms of art. Some archaeologists believe that cave paintings, found near hearths and fire pits, were influenced by the interplay of light and shadow. Observing the flicker encouraged humans to notice patterns, forms, and movement, subtly cultivating aesthetic awareness and imagination, guiding humans to see not only the world but possibilities within it. In the rhythm of fire, humans also learned timekeeping. The height of flames, the density of smoke, and the warmth of embers allowed a sense of hours to form long before clocks or calendars. People could anticipate when to prepare meals, when to rest, when to wake and tend the fire again. Daily life unfolded around the pulse of the flame, creating a calm, natural structure that shaped activity, sleep. Fire's presence not only discouraged predators but also helped maintain a perimeter of safety. Groups learned to position flames strategically, near entrances to shelters, around sleeping areas, and even at temporary campsites. The fire's glow delineated boundaries and created a shared sense of calm security, a slow and steady reassurance that allowed humans to rest, think, and plan with confidence. Another historical point emerges. Fire influenced diet in ways that shaped human evolution. Cooked food provided more calories with less effort, supporting larger brains and more complex social structures. The ability to control fire changed life subtly over generations, expanding survival options, enabling migration into colder climates, and fostering long-term planning. Fire was a silent guide to growth, not abrupt, not dramatic, but consistent and enduring. Imagine a quiet evening where a group sits around embers. A small child watches sparks rise, tracing the path with attentive eyes. An elder turns meat over slowly on a stick, explaining where the animal came from, what plants are safe to eat, and how smoke indicates direction of the wind. These lessons are soft, immersive, and slow, absorbed by observation rather than direct instruction. Fire teaches patience, awareness, and care in ways both practical and profound. Even play and curiosity were influenced by fire. Children learned movement, balance, and coordination by observing shadows and light, experimenting with reflections, and tending small embers under supervision. This was gentle, deliberate learning, blending survival, imagination, and calm attentiveness into daily life. As the night deepens further, embers glow red beneath soft ash, smoke drifts lazily upward, and the room grows calm with warmth and quiet. Movement slows, voices drop, attention drifts toward rest. Fire remains steady and enduring, guiding humans through the rhythm of the night with gentle consistency. Fire was not a tool to be mastered quickly. It was a companion to be understood over lifetimes, shaping the pace of work, the care of food, the safety of groups, and the imagination of those who gathered near it. It was patience made visible, warmth made tangible, and life made deliberate. As you imagine this scene, let the firelight guide your own calm awareness. Feel your breath slow. Let your thoughts drift with the flicker of flames. Allow yourself to sink into the steady rhythm of survival, learning, and presence that fire offered to humans across countless generations. The soft glow of the fireplace flickers across imagined walls, and the gentle patter of rain falls like a slow, rhythmic pulse on the ground outside. Let your body sink further into calm. Let your shoulders loosen and your breathing deepen. In this quiet space, we continue our journey into a distant past. Social connection, ritual, and the shaping of community with steady, deliberate care. Fire structured not only tasks but also relationships. Early humans gathered around hearths, forming circles that defined both physical and social space. The arrangement was intentional, slow, and attentive. People positioned themselves to share warmth, to exchange information, to observe each other, and to learn. Conversation unfolded in measured tones, with pauses to tend the flame or observe subtle changes in its behavior. Every interaction was gently guided by fire, which imposed a calm rhythm on the evening. One historical insight emerges here. Communal fires created the earliest forms of social organization. Those who maintained embers, distributed warmth, or instructed younger members in fire management were respected for their skill and knowledge. Fire taught not through command, but through example, guiding behavior and forming the foundation for social cohesion. Fire also became central to ritual and symbolic activity. From quiet ceremonies to daily offerings of food, humans began to associate flame with life, protection, and spiritual significance. Sparks rising into the darkened sky could be seen as messages to ancestors or unseen forces. Smoke carried scents and signals that marked transitions between tasks, seasons, or important moments. These were not hurried rites. They were calm, deliberate, and imbued with intention, helping humans anchor meaning in the passage of time and the cycles of life. Consider the preparation of food as a communal, almost ceremonial act. Meat, roots, and grains were cooked slowly over coals, shared among the group, and consumed in quiet attentiveness. Meals were more than nourishment. They were opportunities to teach, to share stories, and to reinforce bonds. Children learned observation, skill, and social norms by participating in this calm and steady process. The fire illuminated both bodies and minds, fostering understanding, cooperation, and continuity. Another subtle historical detail: fire allowed for coordinated hunting and foraging. Its presence provided light and warmth during the return from distant excursions. Tracking routes back to camp became easier in firelight. Smoke could signal direction to others at a distance. Fire encouraged planning, communication, and the careful synchronization of group movement, quietly shaping collective survival strategies that relied on observation, cooperation, and patience. Even rest and sleep were informed by fire. Humans learned to position themselves in relation to embers and flames, ensuring warmth without smoke inhalation. Sleep schedules were aligned with the fire's natural cycle, tending it, feeding it, or letting embers burn low through the night. The steady presence of fire offered reassurance and safety, guiding not only wakeful activity but also rest, recovery, and the gentle rhythm of life itself. Fire influenced innovation in slow, deliberate ways. Heated stones could harden or soften materials. Embers could cure hides, and controlled flame enabled experimentation with new tools, structures, and cooking methods. Knowledge accumulated across generations, passed quietly from elder to youth, observed and imitated. Every manipulation of flame taught careful technique, attention to detail, and respect for the power and unpredictability of fire. Social learning around fire extended to storytelling. Shadows cast on walls inspired imagination. Tales of animals, the land, and unseen forces were shared in measured tones, accompanied by the flicker of light. Stories became tools of teaching, preservation of knowledge, and the quiet building of culture. The fire, as both teacher and witness, guided the imagination and memory of early humans, embedding lessons in attention, patience, and observation. Fire also shaped perception of space and safety. Its light delineated boundaries, and its heat discouraged intrusion by predators. Humans learned to create circular arrangements, to position sleeping areas strategically, and to monitor embers with care. The quiet choreography of movement around the fire became a pattern of habit, skill, and subtle discipline, slowly establishing norms for group behavior and survival. Smoke drifts upward, curling lazily. People move slowly, deliberately, adjusting logs, turning food, or simply watching the play of shadows. Every gesture is guided by the rhythm of the flame, every thought and movement influenced by its steady glow. Fire, in this calm and immersive way, shaped human life far beyond warmth and light. It became the teacher of skill, rhythm, cooperation, imagination, and social cohesion. It marked time, anchored memory, and defined the structure of daily life in ways that unfolded slowly, over countless nights, decades, and generations. As you listen, allow the quiet crackle and soft flicker of imagined flames, combined with the gentle rhythm of rain, to settle your mind. Picture yourself within a circle of warmth, moving slowly, observing carefully, and resting fully in the glow. Feel your body ease, your thoughts soften, and your awareness expand into the gentle patterns of fire-guided life. The soft crackle of a fireplace echoes gently, while rain taps a steady rhythm on imagined rooftops and earthen shelters. Allow your body to sink fully into calm, your shoulders dropping, your breath slowing, your mind attuning to the warm glow. Tonight we conclude our journey into the world where fire shaped not only survival, but identity, community, and the gentle rhythm of human life, quietly and patiently, over countless generations. By the time humans had mastered fire fully, it had become more than a tool. It was a teacher, a companion, and a silent guide. Its glow illuminated faces, tasks, and spaces. Around the flame, humans discovered patterns that organized their lives. Cooking. Everything unfolded according to the gentle pulse of fire. Consider the preparation of meals. Roots, grains, and meats were placed carefully near glowing embers, rotated with patient hands, and attended quietly over time. Each meal was not simply nourishment, but also a lesson. Children observed the elders' gestures, noting the delicate balance between flame and food, absorbed over days, weeks, and seasons, forming the foundation of human culture and knowledge. Fire also shaped social bonds. Circles around the flame became the first classrooms, first councils, first centers of communal life. Knowledge of plants, animals, and the environment was shared. Stories of hunts, migrations, and distant lands were told in calm, deliberate tones. The fire itself became a teacher, directing attention and encouraging reflection. Those who maintained the embers, fed the flame, or understood the behavior of smoke were quietly recognized for their knowledge and care, their presence reinforcing respect and cooperation. Another historical note: fire influenced long-term survival and adaptation. By providing warmth, light, and protection, it allowed humans to inhabit colder regions, venture farther from familiar landscapes, and explore new ecosystems. Communities became more resilient, learning to coordinate movements, plan for seasonal changes, and survive in environments that would otherwise have been inhospitable. Fire was the steady heartbeat of these innovations, subtle but enduring. Even moments of rest and contemplation were shaped by fire. Individuals observed the flicker of flames, watched shadows dance across surfaces, and allowed the mind to wander slowly. This quiet attention nurtured imagination, reflection, and creativity. Early humans learned to notice patterns in movement, light, and shape, fostering both practical skill and aesthetic awareness. The fire became a bridge between survival and understanding, a quiet teacher of observation and subtle insight. Fire also influenced the rituals of life. Sparks ascending into the night sky could mark endings or beginnings. Smoke could carry messages or signal attention. These were not hurried gestures, but deliberate, patient acts that embedded meaning into the daily lives of humans. Through fire, early people connected with one another, with their environment, and with the continuity of life itself. As embers glowed softly, humans learned patterns of timing, resource use, and responsibility. Meals were prepared for efficiency and safety. Observation of smoke and flame taught subtle skills for navigation, signaling, and care of both community and environment. Life became a rhythm of attention, a slow flowing dance choreographed by the glow and warmth of fire. The protective power of fire remained central. Predators were deterred by the glow and heat. Darkness was rendered less threatening. People could sleep, work, and create with a sense of security that was subtle yet profound. Fire became the pulse around which safety and continuity of life moved, offering reassurance without command, warmth without urgency. As the night deepens and embers fade slowly to soft red beneath gray ash, the group around the fire grows quiet. Breathing slows. Movements become minimal. The fire's warmth lingers, a steady heartbeat in the darkness. It is calm, enduring, and gentle. Fire shaped life not through force, but through presence, not through haste, but through patience, not through urgency, but through steady attention and care. And now, as we close this story, imagine the soft crackle, the gentle glow, the quiet rhythm of life sustained by fire for millennia. Let it guide your thoughts into calm stillness, your body into gentle rest, and your mind into the slow pulse of warmth and safety. Fire taught humans patience, attention, creativity, and community. It guided life itself. And now it can guide your own journey into sleep. Good night. Let the warmth and glow of fire carry you into quiet dreams.